Hi everyone, and welcome to RobinWorks. This will be the first in a brand new series of videos that I'll be making all about my favorite mobile game, Gundam Breaker Mobile. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the game, it is essentially a mobile version of the popular Gundam Breaker video game franchise, whereas you can collect different Gunpla parts so that you can use it to build your own Gunpla. You can paint it, customize it, and then use your very own machine in missions throughout the game. There are story missions, progression missions, there's also an arena and co-op missions, whereas you can play with other players from around the world. Today's topic will be all about some tips on how to survive a 3-on-3 versus team in arena. Now, the challenge with a 3-on-3 arena is that you get to battle not one, but 3 teams consecutively. Now, if you're battling with 3 teams continuously, you get to battle 6 enemy Gunplas. Chances are you've already exhausted your finisher EX skills by the first round or second round, leaving you somewhat defenseless when it comes to the last round. My solution to this is to equip EX skills that are not necessarily finishers, but the ones that put out a lot of damage, preferably A- and above. And you'd also want to choose EX skills that has a low cooldown time, so that you'd be able to use them again as soon as possible, preferably the following round. Here I will be showing you my personal builds for the team that I use on 3-on-3 arena, starting with my support unit. Now, the skills that I have equipped on this is the recovery tool. That's the Blitz's head, as it recovers tons of HP for your allies. Next will be the Hyper Sky Zanbar. This is one of my disruptor skills, as I use it to deny the enemy of performing their own EX skills, plus it is a quick recovery EX and boost the melee damage of the entire team, as well as recover HP in the process. This seems to be a favorite with other teams as well, as I've seen them use these skills quite often. And lastly, I have the Psycho Power equipped. The Psycho Power is the Saku 3's Torso EX skill, and the primary purpose of this skill is to stun enemies. Stunned enemies can't move, so they can't overwhelm you, or it prevents the enemies from using their own EX skills as well. A better alternative to Psycho Power is the Schwalbe Grey's Warclaw. The Warclaw is, like the Psycho Power, a fast cooldown EX skill and also stun enemies, whereas the Warclaw is only better at stunning enemies because it lets you stun from a distance. With Psycho Power, there is a chance that you might miss the enemy and they might not get stunned, but with Warclaw, since it reaches out to the enemy as the wires shoot out, there's a pretty good chance that you get to stun the enemy every time. Like what you see from the gameplay footage above, the Psycho Power tends to miss a couple of times, but with the Warclaw, you almost always get the enemy stunned. And if you timed it right, the Warclaw was even able to prevent the enemy's bisect skill from getting to me. The second one is my Aggressor unit, as it provides offensive support and melee buffs to my main unit. Here are the skills that I have equipped. First off, the ever-popular Bisect. It gives a decent melee buff, while it lets you recover your HP. Next is the Halberd Throw. It is a low cooldown, high damage EX skill that comes in handy in most situations. And lastly, we have the Quantum Force type Assault. This is a very powerful EX skill that buffs your squad's speed, melee, and shot attack, while letting you recover a good ton of HP. Both of the finisher EX skills on this unit buffs and recovers HP, which helps the overall survivability and strength of the team as a whole. And finally, my main machine, which I named Gundam Sigmundus. This is the primary unit that I use in-game, and I have several custom skins equipped depending on what kind of playstyle that I want to use. For 3-on-3 Arena, I usually equip this particular skin. I don't have a finisher EX skill equipped, rather I use 3 high damage quick cooldown skills. Since my main unit is not a 100% cooldown build, I would want 3 quick EX skills that I would be able to use as much as I need to. They are between A+, B+, and A when it comes to damage output, which is particularly close when it comes to an unaltered finisher EX skill, which typically belongs to the A category in terms of damage. Another important tip that I want to share is when choosing your EX skill, it's better to equip skills that rushes towards the enemy and is bindable. That way you won't be able to miss your target, and it gives the added bonus of cancelling out the enemy Gun Plus EX skill as well. You just need to time them right. Above, you can see a number of parts that are able to perform a rush EX skill finisher. Such examples include the Justice's backpack, the Exia's Transam raid, and so on. And now I'll show you a demonstration of how my team works on 3-on-3 Arena and the advantage of using powerful quick cooldown EX skills. Right off the bat, I was able to quickly eliminate one of the opponent's Gunpla. And as I rushed in for the second kill, I performed my second EX skill only for it to miss because the enemy was able to dodge it by performing the last move of his common attack. There goes my aggressor unit with the bisect, and in the end I was able to eliminate the remaining unit. Hyper Sky Zanbar buffing our melee attack while replenishing our HP. There goes my aggressor unit finishing off an enemy with Quantum Force, and the enemy uses its own Hyper Sky Zanbar. And my own unit responded with another Hyper Sky Zanbar, finishing off a couple of enemy Gunplas, and with the Hyper Sky Zanbar constantly being activated, my melee attack is constantly buffed as well. As you may have noticed, both me and my support unit are using Whip types melee weapons. This is because it is a fast attack type of weapon and gives the enemy almost no time to respond or to react, making it difficult for them to counterattack. Here we are at the final round, and again, I may not have a 100% cooldown rate. Making use of powerful, low cooldown EX skills really gives you an advantage during these battles, and with that, the fight is over. Again, here are my pointers for surviving 3-on-3 Arena. Make use of powerful, low cooldown EX skills. Equip your support units with buff, healing, and stun skills. And kill each enemy quickly, preferably using one skill for each enemy. 3-on-3 Arena in Gundam Breaker Mobile may prove difficult for some players, especially those who are just starting out, but with a proper utilization of EX skills and some strategy, you're sure to win and overcome obstacles along your way. And that's it for me. I hope you find my tips useful, and thank you for watching the video. See you next time on RobinWorks.